April 3rd, 2026, Aryna Sabalenka opens Instagram and freezes. What she saw stopped the world #1 dead in her tracks. Fresh off a historic sunshine double sweep at Indian Wells and Miami. She just hit 5 million followers. That milestone cements her as the most followed woman in the game today, and it is not even close. She blew past Maria Sharapova and is now hunting down the legendary status of Serena Williams. The Doutia social media throne is hers, but halfway across the globe in Austria, a different story was unfolding. 45,000 Filipino fans just swarmed Linz, a town of only 200,000, for Alex Eala's clay court opener. They did not show up for Sabalenka. They did not even care about the tournament trophy. They flocked there for a 20-year-old ranked 45th. No majors under her belt and reeling from a slide out of the top 30 after a brutal loss to Karolina Muchova. When Sabalenka saw the clips, a literal ocean of Philippine flags and bone-shaking chants, she realized the scale of this massive global movement. For the first time ever, the top-ranked player in the world had to face a cold hard reality. Check the stats. Aryna Sabalenka is on an absolute tear. By pulling off the Sunshine Double, dominating both Indian Wells and Miami back-to-back, a feat only 5 women have ever achieved, she hit that 5 million follower mark. She's the undisputed social media heavyweight, leaving rivals like Iga Swiatek and Coco Gauff in the dust at 2.3 million each. Having surpassed Sharapova's 4.7 million, she's chasing icons. By every standard metric, Sabalenka is the face of the WTA. This fame was earned. She built it through 8 slam finals, 4 titles, and a viral engagement to CEO Georgios Frangoulis that pulled in 1.2 million likes. Between the viral TikTok dances and raw backstage access, she has become a personality that fans across the globe truly connect with. Yet the data from Austria paints a wilder picture. 45,000 Filipinos just took over Linz, a tiny city of barely 200,000 people. Every room, bistro, and alleyway is packed. They flew in from London, Berlin, Rome, and Zurich. The stadium only seats 5,000. Outside, the overflow crowd is triple the stadium's capacity. The difference between these two worlds is night and day. Sabalenka has 5 million digital followers. Eala has 45,000 fanatics screaming her name, cheering. Applause. Sabalenka's climb to 5 million followers proves she's a marketing genius just as much as she is a powerhouse on the court. She wrapped up 2025 with roughly 3.8 million fans. In under 6 months, she gained another million, the fastest growth rate of anyone currently on the Pro Tour. It is a branding clinic. She does not just post trophies, she shows the real girl behind the racket, goofing off with her peers and keeping it light. Her viral friendships prove tennis is not just a lonely grind. Then her engagement news changed the entire game. When she announced her engagement to Georgios Frangoulis, the internet exploded with 1.2 million likes. That massive diamond ring she got before Indian Wells became a global obsession, the ultimate lucky charm for her historic run. Sabalenka isn't afraid to get real about the brutal tour schedule and the heavy toll it takes on her body and mind. Fans love her for being honest, admitting when she's playing through illness or just completely burnt out from the grind. But digital clout isn't the same as raw devotion. Sabalenka's fan base is huge and diverse, but Eala's following is on a different level. Eala represents a whole culture. Her fans see their own struggles and dreams mirrored in every match she plays. Put a Filipina on the court and that stadium turns into a high-stakes national championship atmosphere instantly. As one veteran ref put it, they aren't just rooting for a player, they are rooting for their flag. Sabalenka can't buy that kind of energy. TikToks do not compare to a cultural revolution. Sabalenka is a star, but Eala is a total phenomenon. The Eala effect has been the talk of the tour, but what happened in Austria just took things to a whole new level. Why would 45,000 people swarm a tiny Austrian town just for a mid-level WTA tournament? Why drop thousands of dollars on airfare and hotels just for a glimpse of the action? Why burn vacation days and skip work for a 20-year-old who hasn't even hoisted a major trophy yet? It is about the bond. To the Filipino community abroad, Alex Eala is far more than just an athlete. She's a beacon of hope. She's living proof that a kid from Manila can dominate on the world's most elite stages. She represents the ultimate immigrant dream that pure grit and sacrifice can lead to greatness against all odds. With over 115 million people back home and millions more overseas, the support is massive. From nurses in Dubai to engineers in California and caregivers across Canada, they are all watching. For ages, this global community had no one to root for. Now they have Eala. As John Isner noted on the Nothing Major podcast, it is a massive untapped market. People slept on them, but now the Philippines finally has their own superstar. Johnson noted, she's breaking the mold. She's pulling in a whole new crowd. She's a national hero whose worth defies any computer ranking. Federer's ex-coach Paul Anacone pinpointed Eala's magic, a room-brightening charisma. Watching underdogs from minor nations draw massive crowds is always a blast. Their fans' raw energy is electric. In Austria, they aren't just clapping, they're roaring. Reports of 45,000 fans in Linz hit Sabalenka, but she stayed ice-cold. Still, insiders saw the fire burning behind her eyes. Sabalenka's camp issued a curt nod, great for the game. Alex has fans. I respect it. Off the record though, those massive numbers definitely stung. Sabalenka clawed her way to #1 stacking slams and building a global brand. Fresh off the Sunshine Double, she's a certified legend with 5 million followers, WTA's biggest star. Yet here's a world number 45 with 0 major titles. Fresh off a brutal slide from 29 pulling crowds Sabalenka can't even touch, the tennis world noticed. The Nothing Major podcast asked the big question. Does that fame breed resentment? Query laughed it off, claiming jealousy wasn't a factor. It's just business, he said, but Sabalenka, she's a stone-cold killer on court. She wants it all, the rank, the trophies, and now total fan adoration. Seeing Eala's fame skyrocket while she plays to empty seats has to burn. Her temper is legendary. Remember Miami, she snapped, screaming, "Shut up," at the crowd. That outburst was pure, unfiltered stress. Carrying the crown of #1 is heavy. Knowing she isn't the crowd favorite despite the hardware is a bitter pill. As Alex hits the clay in Linz, those 45,000 fans represent a shift. They represent a massive weight on her shoulders. Alex knows the pressure of keeping her head while thousands scream her name. In Linz, she seeded 7th trailing stars like Tauson Samsonova, Ostapenko Navarro, and Raducanu. Top seed Alexandrova is defending her title. It's a shark tank, but also a stage. Reach the semis and Alex grabs 195 points, nearing the top 30. A final nets 325 points. The title 500 points and a career high 23. The math is simple, but for 45,000 fans, the numbers don't matter. They're here for their hero-proving Filipino pride is a global force. When she hits the court in Linz, she's backed by a nation's unbreakable love. Her clay record is shaky, the Czech curse looms, but she has an X-factor. This Sabalenka-Eala beef isn't about head-to-head stats. They've never clashed on court or traded barbs, it's just a clash of realities. 5 million followers versus 45,000 screaming fans. The WTA is taking notes. Wins and losses can't quantify the cultural earthquake Alex is causing. Sabalenka has social media clout, Eala has a nation's soul. The WTA dreams of stars who can pack stadiums and conquer new markets. In Alex, they found their unicorn, a player who has already outgrown the game. Sabalenka will keep hoisting trophies and shattering records as a generational great, but she'll still watch a 20-year-old underdog command crowds she can't touch. Meanwhile, Eala carries the dreams of 115 million Filipinos on her back. She'll keep silencing critics, proving her worth is measured in heart, not points. Despite a shaky clay record and lost points, her true power is immeasurable. She has the devotion of a nation, and as for the world's #1, she just has followers. There is one thing money simply cannot touch. Aryna Sabalenka just hit 5 million followers on the gram, solidifying her crown as the most followed active woman in the game. With a Sunshine Double and 4 slams in the bag, she has locked in her spot at the absolute top of the rankings. Yet over in Linz, 45,000 Filipinos are swarming the streets for Alex Eala's clay debut, and Sabalenka isn't the main attraction. For months, legends like Sam Querrey have been buzzing about the massive impact of the Eala effect. Isner and Johnson are even questioning if this 20-year-old from the Philippines has officially eclipsed Sabalenka's fame. Is she bigger than Coco? Austria just gave us the verdict. Sabalenka's 5 million fans exist behind the glass screen. Eala has 45,000 diehards flooding the streets, with more arriving every 60 minutes. Ranked 45th and trophyless in majors, she even slipped from 29 after a tough Miami loss. But to her fans, rankings are just numbers. They see their own hustle in her struggle, the grind of a nation finally witnessing its first true tennis icon come to life. Sabalenka owns the hardware and the stats, but for these fans, she's a distant second. What's your take on 45,000 people trekking to Austria for Eala? Sound off below, hit subscribe to Rally Radar for your daily VTFX deep dives and the real stories behind the box score. At Rally Radar, every day is match day.